Hi everybody, I'd like to show everybody how you can use pivot tables in your small business. So what I've done to make it easy, I've created a spreadsheet with some data that people may use in their small business to show you how to easily use pivot tables in your small business. So many people would have sales invoices or lists of names, quantities and things like that they would capture on a spreadsheet, but they do end up with lists and lists of information and then sit and count it all up or use various formulas and data, perhaps from this table over here or this table over here that I'm showing you right now at the top here, to try and get the information out of the spreadsheet. I've only captured 20 items in my spreadsheet, but it would end up being quite complicated to get the information out of your long lists. But pivot tables have a solution to this problem. So I'm going to show you a really easy way to create a very quick spreadsheet called a pivot table. To make sure that a pivot table works properly, there's certain things that your spreadsheet must have. So your top row must have a sort of a heading in each column. So in my spreadsheet I've captured an invoice column, a date column, a name column, a surname column, a product column, a color column, a quantity column, a paid column. So in your company you may have different information, and you probably will have a whole lot more information. But you must have a heading in every single column. You can't have any of these blank. So just to make it look nice, you can put little squares around it. This will make it easier to select when you're creating your pivot table. You can make the pivot table on a second sheet over here, or you can make a pivot table right here, depending on the size of your data in your original sheet. Sorry. Okay, then to create your pivot table, I'm going to create mine right here just to make it easy. You click on insert over here, and there's a little icon, you can see it over here, it says there pivot tables. You click on here and you see here from table range. The other one is from external data source. Don't click on that because we're not getting it from somewhere else, we're getting it from data that you've created. So from table range, it's going to come up with a little block like that. You don't have to type any data in here, just ignore this and just click right over here and select the whole range. That's why I suggested you put the grid lines in, because if you put the grid lines in, it's nice and easy to select the data. And then ignore all the rest of that, except make sure it's on existing worksheet, because what this means, it's the existing worksheet that you're actually working with. New worksheet means it's taking it from some other place, but we'll get into that in another video. Then you just say okay, wait a little bit longer depending on your speed, and there's your pivot table right there. Now it's blank at the moment, and that's because you've got to populate it. But before you populate it, there's certain things that will make it nice and easy to use. So make sure that your cursor is actually in the little table, and let's do some things to make it user-friendly. So let's leave this alone for the moment, the square over here, and let's come over here to the side here and click on options, and click on options again. There's a few things here we can change to make it nice and user-friendly. Come to display over here and let's click on classic pivot tables. Now I'm giving you a nice user-friendly pivot table that's nice and easy to use for the basic easy business. Okay, so it's classic pivot tables. Okay, so we're going to include filter items. This is not always used, but let's just leave it like that for now. We're going to get back to all these other things at another time. Okay, Let's OK that. See, now the layout changes over here. Now let's click on design over here. Let's go to this here. I'm just going to show you all these different things here. So we want to show it in tubular form. Okay, there we go. So now over here, we're going to select what we want. So say, for example, in this case, you want to know, let's get an example. You want to know how many people bought red color products. So you're just going to select color, and you're going to select name and surname of people, and you're going to say quantity. Okay, so you're going to close that. Look at your layout now. So then there's your pivot table. Now all you have to do, instead of sitting and counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, how many red people, you're just going to click on red. Now you know how many people bought red items, and you know exactly who they are. 20 red items were bought, and now you know who they were. Very, very easy. And if you want to know exactly how many individual people bought red items, click on it again and go to your pivot table again, go to field list, go to quantity. Instead of saying sum of quantity, click on this again, go field value, and change this here to count. Now you know 6 people bought red items. Very simple. Now if you want to know how many red items again, click back here again, change this to sum, and you know 20 red items were bought. And you can leave this pivot table here and play with it and do whatever you like with it. Okay, I hope this video is helpful. I hope you click back onto it and refer to it and share it with other people. And you're welcome to ask questions. I will do more videos like this. Ask any question you like about these tables. I can change them and answer any questions you like. Thanks very much for watching. Enjoy your day. Please remember to subscribe.